Hi friends, it's Julie Golding Page, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in St. Stephen, New Brunswick, Canada, along the tidal Scudig or St. Croix River, the traditional territory of the Passamaquoddy, and I'm grateful that they share this beautiful place with us. Today I have a fun card using your suggestion for which paper you wanted to see me use in a card today. And we will get right to our project and a little bit of crafting news. So let me just switch my view here. And I'll get right to the good news. There are so many deals on in this month of October. It's incredible. First of all, there is a BOGO. Now this is my own BOGO, and how it works is for whatever you choose to buy with me as your demonstrator on the Stampin' Up! Website, or you can message me your order, you get to choose an equivalent amount of products from my retired stash. So that's the buy one, get one. So you buy new product from the Stampin' Up! Website, and then you get to choose an equivalent value from my retired stash of products. And to participate in this BOGO, what you need to do is request to join my Facebook group. And I've included a link to that right here in this post where the video is, and you can find it there. If you're not able to find it in the post for some reason, just send me off a message, or you can check out my website, which is juliescraftattic.com. All right, so that BOGO starts the 13th. It starts at 7:30 p.m. Atlantic on the 13th. I'll let everybody in the door, so to speak, online into the group at the same time, so everybody has exactly the same choice at getting to everything first. So that's the BOGO. And the second thing I wanted to talk about is this kit sale that started today. So we have every kit in the kits collection on sale from today all the way through the end of October 8th, which is Wednesday. So during those 3 days, you can get any kit on sale in the kits collection for up to 30% off. And it includes year-round kits like this birthday kit here or this garden one here. There's all kinds of other ones you can see here, very many styles. There's also the brand new holiday kits that just came out, one with tags, one with holiday cards, one with the holiday scrapbook, and then there's an older kit as well that is to make ornaments. And so that one is really fun. I was just working on that on the weekend. And so if you'd like to check out the kits collection sale, I can send you off the link for that, or you can just go ahead and go to my website, and there's information in today's post. So if you want to know more information about any of this stuff, just click on the link that is featured right here in your post where it says learn more, and it'll take you to my website and you can find out more there. Oh, hi Kathy, welcome. Yeah. Today we're going to be using this Botanical Textures paper. I had asked over on Julie's Craft Attic which paper to use today, that one or the Painterly Pears. And this black and white paper was the winner. And every sheet of paper in the pack is black and white like this with some shades of gray. And it's just an incredibly versatile pack to have. It can be used on so many different things. It has a lot of florals, but as you can see on this pattern, it's just kind of abstract. And so it's very useful. We're going to be using the Poppin Buy stamp set, and you can see it here. It's very fun. And the accompanying dies, which are here. And these are on the last chance list right now. So if you're interested in this bundle, or either the stamps or the dies, get over there quickly, because when they're sold out, they will not be restocked. That's retiring at the end. So let's go ahead and we'll do our stamping first and get this cute little card built. All right, I've got some of my papers already cut and ready to go here. So let's see what we've got. Okay, so let's get that one out, and this one out, and this one. And if you've never taken one of my online classes, this is kind of how they work too. I'll have all of the packet cut and ready to go for you. And then we start stamping and putting everything together. So it gives you a sense of what my classes are like. Okay, so this set is what I used to make this cool tag. Now these are the paper tags dies, and isn't that a pretty tag? I thought it was really nice. And so we are going to stamp our little sentiment there on the bottom, and I'm just going to take it out right here. So our sentiment is enjoy. Now these are rubber stamps, red rubber stamps, and they are actually discontinuing these soon. They're still around for now. But it pays to be a little bit careful when you stamp a sentiment with them. So I'll show you just exactly what I mean here. We're going to give it a go on this little paper first. So I'm using Tuxedo Black Memento. That's the standard black that Stampin' Up! Offers. And anything you'll see in my videos, unless I say so, which is very rare that this would happen, but unless I say so, everything is from Stampin' Up! I do that to reduce confusion and just keep it all within the Stampin' Up! Family. So let's see how this is stamping today. Oh yeah, that's looking pretty good. All right, let's go ahead and we'll stamp right on our paper here. I always do that with no small amount of fear and trepidation, just so I don't make a mistake. And I always look at the outline of the stamp to make sure I don't have bits of the colored ink around the edges, and then that'll transfer to my paper. But it's looking pretty good here, so let's do that right away. Okay, so let's see if we can get that on there. Let's try it. The moment of truth has arrived. So this set is great for kids. It's great for guys as well. Sometimes it's more challenging to find stamp sets that are good for guys. There's lots of girl ones, but not so many guys, or for any gender for that matter. So these ones are really nice for that purpose. For movie lovers, all really good for that. People who like popcorn a lot. Maybe there's some popcorn fiends out there like me. I really like popcorn. I find it's hard to stop eating it at the movies. Maybe you can identify. And this set has all kinds of cute sentiments too. So I'm just going to show you those quickly. So popping in to say hello. No one's better than you. And then enjoy and pop. So we've got all these different things. So there is our tag. I'll just show you that up close. We've got that bit of stamping done. And let's move on, and we will stamp this guy and the popcorn there. So let's do the little popcorn first. I'm using Darling Duckling. And from this Darling Duckling, we're going to stamp this little popcorn guy. So let's get that out. And this is it right here. So I'll just pull that out. We'll put it on our block, and we're going to stamp it on our little paper right here. So I always look to make sure I've got enough ink on there. Let's see how it turns out. So I'll just put it on here. And we will use the dies to cut that out a little bit later. So let's get our stamping done first. And we're going to stamp this next one twice, actually. So we're going to pick this little guy here. And then we are going to stamp it twice. All right, so here's one. We're going to stamp it in yellow. Oops, did I get that on me? No, I didn't. Okay, I'm lucky. All right, so we're going to stamp one. And I just hold it down for several seconds to transfer all the ink. So that did a nice job, didn't it? And then we'll clean up this stamp and we'll use it again. And this time we're going to use a different color. And then I'll show you how this is all going to work out. Okay, so let's close this up and pull out our second color, which is this one, Strawberry Slush. So this is a very handsome color. I like this one a lot. It's a very vibrant pink, and strawberry is a good name for it because it reminds me of strawberries, and I love strawberries. So let's see what we can do with that. All right, look at that. So I've got these cute little guys here. And now we'll just clean up the remainder of our stamps and we'll cut out the pieces that we need. Okay, so we'll just clean them up. And if you haven't seen one of these before, this is a chamois. So you get them from Stampin' Up! As well. There's just this foamy material. You run them underwater until they're pliable. And then you can just clean your stamps right in there. And you're just using water, no chemicals, which I really like. Very healthy that way. So I like that sort of thing. And now let's cut out our little pieces. So here's the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. We're going to dig that out. And I'll get out the plates. They do have instructions with them and right on the plates themselves too, so you don't have to remember. So you're going to take one plate, number 1. You're going to take 2 plates with number 2, and we're going to make a sandwich. So the filling is going to be the die and the paper in between these 2 plates. You can see they're very weathered, but they still work great. You can get replacements, but I haven't had to put mine in yet because these ones are still working great, which is really nice. So we're going to get the dies out here, and I'm just going to get the right ones out here. So we'll need this one for our little guy. And for this popcorn, I got to find the right one there. I think it's this one. Is it this one here? Yes, it is. Okay, so that's the popcorn one. So let's do the little popcorn guy first. We'll get that one done. So we put the plate. Then we put the paper, put the die and line it up as best we can. You can also use a little bit of washi to stick that on there if you're afraid it's going to move. And then we're going to crank it right through the machine. So I'll just pull it out so you can see it coming out the other side there. Okay, so there it is. And look at that. Cut it out so nicely. It saves us a lot of time and trouble with scissors that way. And if you have mobility difficulties with your hands, then it's also a really good choice to use the die cut machine so you don't have to do all that fussy cutting. Now, let's get these guys all ready to go. So I'm just going to cut them in half here, and we're going to cut both of them out. So let's start with the strawberry slush, and we'll cut that out. So I'd love to know what you think of this card after I finish it. I just think that this paper is beautiful, and it really makes these colors pop. So, pardon the pun with the popcorn, but you've got a bright yellow, a bright pink, and black, and they just all go really well with this black and white paper. It just kind of gives it this emphasis. So there's that one. Doesn't that cut it out nicely? I think that's so nicely done. So we'll go ahead and we'll do the other one now as well. So here's the yellow guy. So we're going to put him in there. All right. Or her. I guess I shouldn't say him. How do I know? How can you tell? All right, let's put this here. And, whoops, I just moved it, didn't I now? Okay, so we're going to put that on there. And we'll put this on top. All right, and we'll crank it through. Here it goes. Okay. Alrighty, so there that one is. Let's see how it came out. Oh yeah, very nice. Yeah, these dies do a really nice job. Okay, so I'm just going to put this machine aside. And the plates, we don't need those anymore, or the dies either. So we've got all our little pieces here now. And here is our card. That's our sample. So let's see what we're going to do first here. All right, so we have our tag, first of all. We have this little pink piece in there. So why don't we take care of that first? What I'm going to do with that is simply put it behind that heart, the little hole. And I'm going to use regular tape, just regular household tape. And I'm going to stick that on. You could use your crafting adhesives if you want, but I find it's just handy to have some tape on my desk. All right, and then we've got these little teeny pieces here. So I'm going to show you those. Look at these. So we got little glasses and these little shoes. And I cut those out with the Poppin dies. So you can see them right there, the glasses and the shoes. And it does cut out 2 shoes at once, which is nice, so that you don't have to just do these itty bitty little pieces. So we've got those. So let's put together our popcorn here. So what we're going to do then is cut off the pink part of this popcorn. So let's do that first. So we're going to just cut off that top little bit. Here we go. So a little bit of fussy cutting, but not much here. take that right off there. Okay, so we'll take that pink piece away. And what we're going to do is just superimpose the strawberry slush one onto the Darling Duckling. And we're going to stick them together, okay? So we can just use a little bit of the multi-purpose liquid glue. Once I get it going here, there we go. We'll just put a little bit of glue in there. And then we're going to put them together to make one popcorn container. Okay, so here we go. All right, so we've got that all done. So now we're going to put the little glasses on here. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue in the middle and then just a tiny, tiny bit on the edges. You probably don't even need to do the edges unless, like me, you're trying to get it to lie perfectly flat, but honestly, you could just skip that and put it in the middle. And then they'd kind of pop up a little bit too to kind of make a 3D effect, which would be cute as well. So let's just stick those on there. And if they're slightly askew, they just give them kind of a little rakish look. So that's kind of cute as well. Now we'll put the shoes on. And what I find easiest is if you put the glue right on the feet here. That sounds kind of undesirable in real life, but it works really well for these little bitty shoes. So there's one. And we're going to get one more, and then I'll show you up close what it looks like. All right, so look at that little guy. Isn't that cute? Yeah, it just makes such a cute effect. Okay, so there are all our pieces. So now you'll see that I've got this little bit of Darling Duckling ribbon there. So this is the ribbon that I used, and like I mentioned, it is the color Darling Duckling. It matches the stamp pad. And it's called Faux Linen Ribbon. And I find it quite easy to tie, and it has a lovely shine to it as well. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to cut a piece. I don't like to cut my ribbons in advance because I find I waste less if I just cut it from the spool when I need it. So that's what I'm going to do in this project too. We're going to take our glue dots, which you also get from Stampin' Up!, and we are going to use those to stick this ribbon on. So I'm just going to put that kind of halfway up. So there it is, and I just stuck it to the back like that. And then we're going to take our little popcorn here. We're going to flip it over, and we're going to put some dimensionals here on the back. So here it is. These stick really well, these dimensionals. They're called Stampin' Dimensionals, and they're the best foam adhesive I've found. I really, really like them. So we're just going to stick that in the middle here, wherever we want it to be. It doesn't have to be exactly. There, that's pretty good. Okay. And that ribbon's just slightly crooked, so I'm just going to pull that down. There we go. And then you can choose which side you want it on. On this card, I put it on that side. I think I might do the same thing there. Just kind of makes sense. So we're just going to tie it. I slipped it through the piece that's there. And now I'm just going to tie it once. That'll hold nice and tightly. And just cut it at an angle, so very simple, nothing complicated at all. I like to keep things simple. The more I make cards, the more I like the really kind of simple techniques that you can do with them. So there's that. Maybe we'll want that a little bit shorter, do we? Yeah, I think so. It's just a little long for me. There, whoops, there we go. So now we've got our little piece all put together here, which is our front of our card. Isn't that cute? And now we can put together all the rest of the pieces, which are going to be really simple. Oh, let's stick this guy on too. We might as well do that at the same time. We'll just put a dimensional on the back there and sort of put it here along the edge. There, so that's our full centerpiece for the front of the card. And now we have the rest of our pieces to put together here. So this is basic black cardstock. I took an 8.5 by 11 cardstock and I cut it in half. So you can cut it in half lengthwise or widthwise. You'll get the same thing. It is a card that will exactly fit the Stampin' Up! White medium envelopes, and they're super smooth. So that means that when you stamp on them, you get a really good image. So you can actually stamp on your envelopes as well, and it looks really nice. I have this paper here to put inside, and this is a 3 3/4 by 5-inch paper. And I just put it inside so that there's something to write on. So let's get that in there first. This is Stamp and Seal that I'm using. I love their tape glue. You can also get the refills for that rather than buy a whole new one, which is really good. That's what I usually do. Okay, so there, that's in there. And now, just like on my sample here, I'm going to take my Botanical Textures paper and adhere that to my Strawberry Slush paper and then put it on. So these ones, if you're looking for the dimensions, let me just check that out. So let's see. This one is 3.5 by 4 3/4. Okay, and you could use this side if you wanted to. So you could try it out the other way. Since it's all black and white, you could do it that way if you wanted. But I think I'll keep to this side. It almost looks like popcorn in a way. And this one is going to be 3 3/4 by 5. So that's the dimensions there. So let's just quickly add this to it. It's going to be really quick to finish up the rest of this card because there's not much left to do. And I have all the supply list in pictures on my website. If you just click through on the link that says learn more here, you can get to that and you can find out all the different supply names because sometimes it's hard to remember them when you're watching a video. All right, sometimes it's hard for me to remember the proper names for them when I'm doing the video too. Maybe you've had that experience as well. All right, so we're going to put these dimensionals on. This is going to go on the front. Pop that up a little. And then we're going to put dimensionals on the back of our little popcorn picture here. And if you noticed, I put one on each corner and then I put one right in the middle. Because if you're mailing a card, we can't right now, but hopefully when Canada Post returns, I find that the machines push down the middle of the cards and it can kind of make them have a dip in the middle. And so I always put some foam adhesive in the middle as well, just to keep it all up at the same level. All right. Just pressure, even from having it in a stack of things, never mind machines, will do that as well. So I find it's good to put dimensionals in the middle. And I have one more thing to add here, and that is our embellishments. And these are super pretty. They are the Strawberry Slush and Pretty in Pink gems, but they're not really aptly named because you have Strawberry Slush, Pretty in Pink. Here, I'll bring the white back so you can see. Strawberry Slush, the lighter Pretty in Pink, and they didn't mention that you got these clear ones as well, clear with gold centers. So those are all really nice too. And it just gives you a bit of sparkle on your card. So we're going to add one each of those to either side of the word enjoy. And just like that, you've got your card built. So that's the card for today. Remember about my BOGO that's coming up. It starts Thanksgiving Monday, so make sure you get to the group before that to get in on the very first sales. And we've also got a kit sale going on. And as well this month, we've got a joining deal where if you want all the things, you can choose $165 worth of stuff from the Stampin' Up! Website, whatever you want. That's $165 worth of stuff. and you pay only $48. I've never seen a price that low for their joining deal before. You don't have to sell, and it's just the best deal. So I'm recommending my customers that they do that while this deal is on. And if you decide you don't want to remain a member of Stampin' Up! Later on when your membership expires, you just go back to being a customer. And I'd love to have you join our little group. We're called Creative Cafe. You can go to my website and find out more if you're interested. But for today, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this card and will enjoy the Poppin' Buy bundle. Bye for now. See you next time.